Hello, good morning. How are we? It is Tuesday. Today is technically my birthday, but you're seeing this tomorrow. So yesterday was my birthday for you. We just set up the light, set up the main camera here. We're about to shoot it. Let's get dressed. But I do need to jump in the shower and sort out this hair and stuff before we actually jump on camera and do the let's get dressed stuff. Yesterday's vlog is exporting right there. If you haven't watched that, I suggest you go watch it. It's a long one. We took a trip to a cabin at the base of Mount Hood. We went on like alpine slides. We went up a ski lift, chairlift thing up Mount Hood, which is like 9,000 feet. We went to about 7,000 feet. Alpine slides, lots of photography bits. Oh, don't tell me you died mid fucking export, you absolute swine. You did. Motherfucker. Then we went bowling, and I showed you my birthday gifts and other stuff like that in it. So yeah, it's a long one. It's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes long. I do a lot of but I only started talking in like the second day. The first day was all about kind of photography, and then the second day was all about the vlog. But I'm trying to find the balance between those two things. And as I say on this vlog, all of the time that I'm trying to make YouTube a priority, and trust me, I am. It's just difficult. It's so difficult. But anyways, we're gonna try. We're doing our best. It theoretically should be a little bit easier here in America because, like, I said it on a vlog before that, like, when I'm in London and I'm vlogging, generally people go, oh, influencer or YouTuber. And in Ireland, people go, oh, dickhead. Well, America is like that, like, tenfold, right? Because, like, you guys, most of my audience is American. You guys invented this. Like, you guys invented the influencer, you invented the YouTuber. Like, this is your domain, this is your forte. So I should be able to just walk around the streets, a shopping mall, anything else like that, just pointing a camera at myself, and it should just be normal. I shouldn't be like insecure about it or worrying about like what people think, because what they think is like, oh, that dude's a YouTuber, and then they just go on about their day. It's not that big of a deal. So I need to get over myself, and I need to start actually doing this more. Anyways, I'm going to jump in the shower really quickly and then film my let's get dressed for today. Okay, so I'm just out of the shower and finished washing my hair, so I'm just gonna like wait for it to dry, because I'll put a little bit of product in it, and then I'll blow dry it, and then I'll continue filming. But sometimes when I'm filming the let's get dressed and I don't have a top on, I clip the mic to this chain. I got in the shower with the fucking mic still attached to me. Now, it still is lighting up and the camera still shows levels, but I'm not sure what those levels will be. So for the sake of this video, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna put that back in its little cradle. This is the one that was in the shower, and then we'll take out this one to finish filming today's let's get dressed with, and then we'll test. We'll test the other mic afterwards, so then I don't mess up this filming. Oh, I can't believe I just done that. It's a nightmare. I really hope it works. Not that I ever use both of them together, but you know, just I'm an idiot. So we're doing our let's get dressed. Our chinos and our tank top on. Now we swap out the wide lens for the 50 so we can get some detail shots, particularly of like the watch, the fragrance, the ring. This is the part that nobody sees, all the back and forth, the changing the lenses, the lighting. Nobody sees all this bit. Potentially fucking up one of the mics. Nobody sees that bit either. For a timepiece, we go with this one from Earnshaw. Leather signet ring from Soul Engraver. For a scent, we go with Russian Leather by Memo Paris. The shit one. The sweater. You're on my jumper, you know. Look, that's you. It says Cat Dad. That's a picture of you. And that's Tuesday. You smell like bread. Little check-in. I'm debating whether I cook noodles or order lunch. It's 1 o'clock now. I don't particularly want to go anywhere. Like, I'm getting hungry now. So if I do intend to order, it needs to be like in the next few minutes because it's going to take at least 20 minutes to get here. So, in saying that, let's have a look. I had my first Dairy Queen day before yesterday. I had a blizzard. I got the Snickers blizzard and it is life-changing. So since being here in America, I've tried Red Robin, which is very good. Their burgers are very good. It's not really a fast food burger, but it's very good. Burgerville, very good. It's a greasy fast food burger, but it's very good. What else have I tried? McDonald's is the very same, it's just bigger. Wendy's. So I'm not gonna mention like KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, or anything like that because we just have them back in Ireland and they're pretty much the very same. They're just, the portion sizes are just bigger. Wendy's, very good burger. Wendy's is very good. What else have I had? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is like KFC, but I actually think it tastes a bit better, personally. But it's still greasy fast food chicken. What else? There is a Chinese restaurant that we order from sometimes, and you know, like, America is not particularly well known for its fast food Chinese food. This place is not really fast food like the Chinese that you would get back in like Ireland or the UK. But hi Kitty, did you hear me talking and I woke you up today? I'm really sorry. I'm just talking to YouTube, making a YouTube video that nobody watches. Well, actually, do you know what? There's a few people that watch these things, and there's a few people that watch them consistently. For example, Tony Strange. Tony comments on like every single video. He's been subscribed for quite a while, comments on like every video. So Tony, you're a legend. And then there's a gentleman from Brazil. I just need to find his comments. Eduardo Enrique, I think that's how you say your name. Always comments on the videos. Guys, I really do want you to know that I do remember when the same profiles, the same names reoccur, and like again, another comment from Eduardo, another comment from Tony. So I really appreciate it, because as I talked about before, like I can't remember if I remember recording it, but I'm not sure I actually put it into a vlog. I was having a rant about social media and people feeling like social media owes them something. Like essentially how it started was the Mosey guy, whatever his name is, the CEO of Instagram, basically was like, he does these like highlight reels where he like picks a creator that's doing the right things on social media in order to grow, like using reels, using stories, using music, using all the tools available to them in order to grow the platform. And all of those videos all have the exact same people crying in the comments, basically saying like, oh well, that person already has 100,000 followers, like it's not as if they need a shout out. But what they're failing to realize is that they're not getting a shout out. What he's doing is showcasing what this person is doing really, really well to reach an audience, to grow an audience. So if you're a smaller platform, you do those things consistently, you can also grow, right? And one thing I never do is complain about social media. To a degree, like sometimes I'll get like my knickers in a twist about TikTok, because like TikTok tanks my engagement, where like my engagement on Instagram is great. Like I can't complain about it at all. But what I'll never complain about is like the platform not giving me anything. Like everything that I have, like the money that I earn, the life that I live, being able to travel, the things that I can buy, social media has given me all of that. Instagram and TikTok have given me all of that. They've allowed me to essentially monetize my life, monetize my lifestyle, and build it and scale it and continue to scale it. And we are continuing to scale it, and we have even bigger plans for the future. So I will never ever complain about like, oh, you know, Instagram owes me. Instagram owes me nothing. They're a platform. They've already given me the something. They've given me the space. They give you the platform to upload your content. You do it consistently, you do it well enough, you post content that is good, that is you, that's real, that's raw, that's authentic and hopefully original. It gets a bit annoying when people copy your content and not credit you for it, but we shall digress. I have that exact same mentality with YouTube. YouTube owes me nothing. Why should YouTube favor my channel versus anybody else's channel? Like, why does my channel and why do my videos deserve to get pushed when it's up to me to do the work? Because you guys like Tony, Eduardo, Kate that's there, Dave that's there, Brooke that's there, Laura, like any of you guys that are consistently in the comments, you guys know how infrequent the uploads are. You know how bad I am at consistency with this app. So why on earth would I complain that like, oh, YouTube doesn't help me grow, YouTube doesn't push my videos have like per engagement, they get low views. That's on me, it's my fault. I need to make engagement videos. I need to make videos that people want to watch. I need to create a platform that people want to come back to and see new videos. I need to make sure there is new videos. That's all on me. That's not on the platform, it's on me. So anyways, circling back around to the few people that consistently watch these videos and are consistently in the comments, thank you. It means a lot. So yeah, that's that. And on that note, I'm gonna order shitty food because it's my birthday and I'm allowed. So I'm gonna order something shitty because I cancelled my tap dancing class because as per getting old, I go on like one mild hike, I have a blister on my foot, my leg is hurting from bowling yesterday. I think that's definitely the sign that I'm getting old. So I should be looking after myself a little bit better. But I'll start that tomorrow because, you know, tomorrow is this magical place where everything happens. Because I will go to the gym tomorrow morning. I'll try. I have a blister and a sore leg, so I'm already giving excuses before it even happens. But I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll even sit on a stationary bike and do something, and I'll start eating healthy. I'll try. I'm getting older. I need to start looking after myself. We interrupt this vlog momentarily for a brief tech review of some bits that I've had for a while now that I've used kind of extensively, so I can give a little bit of feedback, and then something that I got recently that I have some thoughts on. Kitty, what do you want? Come up here. Yeah. So the first thing I want to speak about is the Ray-Ban Meta. They're actually not even in here. So that's the first thing about sunglasses, is they go missing. Let me see if I can find them. You know what, they're gonna be in the car. That's where they are. But I can still give some of my first impressions on the Ray-Ban Meta. So the first thing is how good these glasses are will entirely depend on the region in which you are. For example, I'm from Ireland, so they're great for like playing music. It just sounds like you have AirPods in. They're brilliant for Google Maps. I think Google Maps is probably the best feature of these. Like, so I wore them when I was in Paris. Just set Google Maps on your phone to where you want to go, leave your phone in your pocket, and it just looks like you're wearing normal sunglasses, but the speakers will tell you take a left, take a right, continue on straight, whatever it is. So it looks like you know where you're going, because you're not like looking at your phone and circling around, anything like that. Kind of, you don't ever look lost. You don't ever look like a tourist. You just look like someone that knows where they're going. You can walk with a little bit of haste, and it makes you a little bit less of a target if you're in, you know, a country that is a little bit unfamiliar to you, or, you know, that's, say, prone for muggings or pickpockets or anything else like that. If you can just walk around and you look like you know where you're going, you look like you're from there, or even if you don't look like you're a native, you look like you live there, because you don't look lost. You just look like you know where you're going without having to look down at your phone. So Google Maps is like the best thing about the Ray-Ban Meta. And me personally, I think that's what wearable tech should be all the time. It should seamlessly integrate into your everyday life. It should not look like wearable tech, it should not feel like wearable tech, and it should improve how you navigate your day-to-day. And the use of Google Maps on the Ray-Ban Meta does exactly that. It does exactly that. The next iteration of that should be augmented reality, where you can see through the actual lens. It'll give you an arrow to point where you want to go, or whatever it may be, or real-time translations via an augmented reality lens, or directly into the ear, anything along those lines. Yes, Kitty, I know. The other thing to mention about the Ray-Ban Meta, as I did say, it will depend on your region. And what I mean by that is, the second I landed in America, and I either connected to Wi-Fi because my Irish SIM card does not work in America, I had to buy an American SIM card. The reason I'm mentioning region is because here in America, these have access to Meta AI. So I can ask the glasses, hey Meta, what am I looking at? And it'll tell me. For example, like, it'll say, you're looking at a Sony camera, or you're looking at a black cat, or if I'm looking at a menu, I can say, hey Meta, what within this contains nuts? And it should theoretically tell me, because the camera just reads the page and then uses AI to spit out the answer. You can ask it like, hey Meta, what's the weather? Hey Meta, how hot is it right now? Hey Meta, is it due to rain? Any of those sort of things that you would like ask Siri, but you can just prompt it straight to your glasses that just look like normal Ray-Bans. So it's quite good in that regard. The camera, I use it a little bit. I don't use it that much. I used it a lot when I first got them because it was novelty. Do not use it that much at all anymore. Reason for that is that it shoots only in portrait. There is no way that you can get these to shoot in landscape, And like, frankly, any of my short form content is generally fashion related. It's generally the let's get dressed videos, and they're all kind of shot on like these cameras. They're on a tripod, locked off shots, so I don't really need a POV for those. So I'm not really using the camera that much. The quality's okay. It's okay for socials. It's nothing amazing, nothing to write home about. Not that I'm a real super knowledgeable or super nerdy about like bit rates or, you know, frame rate, like everything else like that. I know like the absolute basics, but I know enough to know that the Ray-Ban Meta's camera is nothing to write home about. Speaking of POV, a recent pickup was the Insta360 GO 3. So I am not really a big fan of action cameras. I've had a couple of GoPros in the past. Never really had a real use for them. I don't ski, I don't snowboard, I don't surf, I don't jump out of airplanes. I don't really do anything that's considered action. So having a GoPro, I don't know, like even now when I create content on multiple different platforms, having an action camera, honestly, I don't really do anything that merits having an action camera. In saying that, later on this year I will be learning to ski for the first time, so this will get some action camera use for that. But I do also want to pick up the actual 360 Insta360s for skiing. The reason for buying this was what I said with the Ray-Bans, to get like POV for photography. You would have seen that in yesterday's vlog. There's a POV shot when I was shooting corn dog on the side of the mountains. This is perfect for that because you get the clip for the baseball cap. This is also magnetic, so we're able to like stick it to the side of the car while we were standing beside the car and get like a shot that way. You can stick it to your baseball cap. There's like a dashboard mount with a little like adhesive base. We like got time lapses on that. Yeah, I know, I'm talking, baby girl. So there's lots of pros to this in terms of like how small the whole thing is. The flip up screen's great. The fact that when you take this out and like shoot something with this, you can monitor the screen. So like this can be way over there and I can look at the screen, I can see what this sees, everything else like that, great. My only issue with this is it does not work without the app, which for a piece of hardware to rely on software, I think is complete horseshit. You need to download the app. App needs to be updated. You need to connect through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all these other things before you can shoot a single thing. Bear in mind, this does not take an SD card. Everything is stored internally, and then you open up the app and then you export it from the app to your phone. Okay, whatever. This should be a plug and play system. You should take this out of the box, like mount this wherever you want it, press this, all the footage that you capture is stored on this. And then if you want to get the footage later on, then okay, download the app, connect to the camera, export the footage that way. But for example, let's say you were skiing or snowboarding or whatever else, and then the ski supply shop were selling action cameras and you bought it. Are you really gonna sit there for honestly 30 to 60 minutes or whatever, and depending on the connection and the signal where you are and whether you can get these two to connect? Because when I was in New York, when I bought this in B&H Photo, I didn't get it working until I was like on the plane. So I had a full day in New York City where I didn't get a single bit of POV footage with this because it wouldn't connect to my phone. So I think the first snip I have of it is in like an Uber from the city to JFK. So anything that I got from New York City, so I was at like a Maharanic New and Lingwood event on a rooftop in Times Square, went to like an underground party in like a cave because it was one of my friend's birthdays, just walking the streets of New York with my camera. Nothing, not a single thing, because I couldn't get this connected to the app until I had time sitting in a taxi, turning my Wi-Fi off, turning the Bluetooth off, rebooting this, doing a firmware update, everything else like that. When, if this was a plug and play system where I just like hit record, it records everything, it's all stored on this, and then I get it later on, great. That is the main downfall of this camera, is the fact that it's a piece of hardware that does not work without the software, like external software, an app on your phone, which frankly just isn't good enough for like a 400 euro camera. Now that I have it working, it's very good. I got lots of like little snips from yesterday's vlog when we were away for the weekend. I had it on my head on the shooting POV photography. I had it on my head on the chairlifts. I had it on my head when we were bowling. Very, very good. The only other thing that kind of pisses me off, and this is probably a me thing, it's probably deep in the settings somewhere. When you do a time lapse, there's a watermark down in the corner that says shot on Insta360. What the is that about? What is that about? Why on earth are they watermarking time lapses? None of the other footage is watermarked, but time lapses are. I don't know, I need to go into the settings to see if I can turn that off, because like I had to basically crop into the footage to get rid of the watermark, because fuck that. And last but not least, this beast. This is the Sony A7C, or this is a 24mm 2.8. This is an aftermarket third-party hood. Being a square hood, it gives that kind of Leica vibes. There's plenty of videos on YouTube here about like how this is like your Leica alternative or whatever. It's a small, compact, two-tone rangefinder style camera. Yeah, difference between this and the Leica, one, the price. You can get this body only for, I don't know, like 3 grand. I got this second hand, so I didn't pay 3 grand for it. So the main difference between this and a Leica is the price. Instead of paying like 6 to 10k for a Leica, you're like 3k and under for this thing. Unlike the Leicas, say like a lot of them are very limited to the lenses that they have available, when with this it's an FE mount, so essentially you have Sony's full range of full frame lenses. I have the small 50mm 1.8, I have the big 50mm 1.4, I have the 70 to 200 2.8, and now I have this 24 2.8. So essentially I've got like a 24, 50, 70 to 200. So I'm covering like a very wide range, from like a wide angle to a standard to a telephoto. So lens kind of selection is absolutely brilliant. This also has 61 million megapixels. The video capabilities are super good. It'll shoot 4K 10-bit image stabilization is really good. If you're a Sony user before, you'll be very used to the menu layout, the button layout. Everything is laid out very, very well. You can customize a few of the buttons. I've not even wasted my time customizing a few of the buttons. Honestly, it's super easy. The 50mm and this 24mm have an aperture ring on the lens, so super easy to just change aperture in your very old school film style kind of way. Thumb wheel does shutter speed, and then if you want, I could program this to do ISO, but on a lens that doesn't have the aperture wheel here. This is programmed to aperture. This one is programmed to exposure compensation. You have your video record button there, you have your mode functions there, so photo, video. S and Q mode is like your slow-mo version. Then you have your manual, shutter priority, aperture priority program, auto, and then three customizable settings there. Yeah, perfect. Like ISO button is where it is on most of the Sonys, just on that command dial on the back, which also swivels, so you can just like click what you want, whether it's the display, the ISO, your shooting mode, whatever it is. Like, it's pretty much laid out very perfectly. And yes, I could shoot photography on this camera, which I think is like 20 something million megapixels, which is nothing to be sniffed at considering the images only go on Instagram. Difference between this is not only the megapixel count, this is 61, this is 20 something, is a viewfinder. I love taking photos with a viewfinder. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like, I had this conversation with a photographer friend in New York, that this makes me feel like a photographer when I do this. Like, and feel like a photographer is such like a poncy sentence, but it just does. It makes me like really pay attention and focus to like what's in my frame and what I'm actually taking a photo of, and like isolating parts, moments, things within the frame, as opposed to like being out here like this and trying to look at like a full screen this way, as opposed to like in here you're just like, you can kind of see everything a little bit better. And for a photography camera, a viewfinder was my number one kind of deal breaker. It needed to have a viewfinder. This camera just ticked all the boxes for me. Shoots video well, shoots photos extremely well. The foils are incredibly good to work with. The dynamic range is insane. I already have a couple of Sony native lenses. I just added another one with this 24. It's compact. Battery life is okay. I have the battery that it came with and 3 more. Yeah, this is worth every penny. It's absolutely good enough for a professional in a professional setting. The frame rate is not like, and the autofocus, they're good, but they're not like, you know, a super high-end sports camera that's going to shoot like 20 frames a second or whatever else like that. But it's mirrorless, so it'll shoot very, very quickly. Bear in mind, there was a time where sports photographers shot with a single burst and they got the images. So you should be absolutely capable of getting the shot with this, absolutely. If you're a portrait photographer, this thing is insane. The eye tracking, brilliant. Autofocus is brilliant. I basically have it set that once I lock my focus and press the AF button at the back here, instead of half pressing the shutter, if I press the AF button on the back, it'll just track the subject indefinitely, and I can just fire away. And it's that good and it's that reliable, even at low apertures like 1.4, 2.8, anything like that. Nail on the head every single time. To the point that where it's difficult to get out of focus shots. Sometimes I want a shot where I have a subject in the foreground and I want that out of focus and focus on something in the background, like this photo here. That took more work to get than it would on like a camera 10 years ago, because the focus is that good. I think it's even using AI for the focus, so it knows what the subject is. And even though I'm trying to ignore the subject, the camera is fighting me because it knows what the subject is. That's how smart these things are. This is brilliant. These are brilliant, and they're only going to get better. This is good, but it could have been better. Just gotta knock on the door. And yes, okay, today is my birthday, but you'll see this vlog tomorrow. But I just got flowers. If anybody ever tells you that men don't want flowers, they're lying. How beautiful they are. And it makes you smile, because, come on. Also, Snickers ice cream tends to be my favorite. That was also in there. And I really should not be drinking Coca-Cola. We are trying to give this up, but this is not just any Coca-Cola. This is Mexican Coca-Cola, and my God, if there is a difference, there is a difference. Trust me. If, like me, you like Coca-Cola, and you happen to be in America, which most of my audience are American, to my European friends, you're missing out. This stuff is ridiculous. Mexican Coke. Cola. Mexican Cola. Mexican Coca-Cola. Anyways, that was very sweet. Little delivery. Flowers, Mexican Coke, Snickers ice cream. Happy birthday to me. This here on the patio, we have a bird feeder, and I've been waiting like, I'd say it's up there well over a week, probably 2 weeks.
well over a week anyways, if not 2 weeks. And today I've been spotting birds like on the mantle, if that makes sense, but not on the feeder. We sprinkled food on the mantle and then threw some in the grass and the bushes kind of beyond the patio to try to attract them on. But we looked it up online, they still need to be able to find the feeder. So they don't just see it straight off the bat. They have to eventually find it. But today was the first day I saw a bird actually on the feeder. So I set up the camera with the long lens. So I set up the camera with the long lens and set it on a time lapse to try, get a couple of birds going to and from the feeder. And guess what? Not a single bird landed on the feeder for the entire time I was running a time lapse. Not one. So I think they call that like Murphy's Law, or the opposite of Murphy's Law. I think, isn't Murphy's Law whatever can happen will happen or some shit like that, or is Murphy's Law like when the opposite happens? I can't remember. But either way, that's just typical that I went through the effort of setting all that up, set up a time lapse, and not a single bird, not one, visited the feeder.
We need to put these flowers into some water. So the stems will need to be cut by about there-ish, by about, I've never done this before. Someone always does it for me. Let's try there. Okay, is that too little? I could probably cut a bit more off actually. Oh shit, I probably should have done this over the sink or something. Or over the bin. That'd be smarter. I didn't even go in the bin. Much better. Perfect. Don't forget your flower food. And then these can go there. Like that. Perfect. So, corn dog, it's home from work. It's at the end of the table eating. We ordered KFC because it's my birthday and I was allowed to order whatever I wanted. And now we're watching, I think it's about the second to last or third last episode of House of Dragon, season 2. Is there only 2 seasons? There it is.